Mike, I mean, obviously, I know you were disappointed in midweek. Normally, it's good to have the next game coming along so quickly, but in Tranmere's case, would you have rather had a little bit longer in between games?
No, no, we want to get back straight at it. We want to try and get going again. From obviously we had two disappointing results. Everyone's disappointed with them, but we know where we're at. We know what we need to do. We've had a really good day today in training. We've had some meetings with the players that have been really positive. We've managed to get players now back in the squad. We're only two or three light now. So that's the first time we've been able to do that for a very, very long time. So that's give the boost to everybody, to the group, to getting these players back in now. It's just about getting these players up to speed, getting the group all together, working hard on the training pitch, making sure we work on our fundamentals of what we do, trying to get the clean sheets, aiming to get the first goal. So all our focus is on that now.
Yeah, in fact, I was going to ask about how you've gone about it in training, whether you've been able to concentrate more on the tactics and all the set plays and that sort of stuff, or at the moment is it just the fitness work that you're trying to get right?
It's a bit of both. I think the last couple of weeks we've not had the numbers to be able to do a training session, whereas in 11v11 we had 10 players, one goalkeeper. So, and obviously you're trying to look after that group then to make sure they don't get injured for the game, because we've picked up injuries obviously with this COVID thing. So it does affect your training. Audrey's done some research on it for us. We have levels that we have to hit in training as a group that makes sure your performances are where they need to be in terms of fitness. And so during the COVID period, it's actually gone down because you can't get 11v11s. We can't bring the kids over with us because they're not COVID tested. You can't mix groups. But it is what it is. But now the biggest thing for us now is we've got the group back in the building. We're missing Manny at the moment, who's got have an injection in his knee in 4 to 5 days. Stephen Payne's out for 3 months with a groin operation. Morgan Ferrier is still coming back from his hamstring. Apart from that, we have now got everyone back in the building, which is brilliant. It's really good because we've not had that continuity and consistency of training and performance and getting the same team together. This is a new team. It's a new group of players. And there was signs of it before all this that it was starting to gel in games at Cambridge and Scunthorpe. So we've just gone back to the basics of how we want to work, how we want to play. And we're fully focused on making sure we get these things right.
And this weekend, you've got a team who are at bottom of the table, but you've been in the game long enough to know that it's not quite as simple as that. And they've brought in a midfielder from Arsenal, James Olayinka. And I think he was on the bench for them in the Community Shield against Liverpool. So potentially some quality there. But you'll know that you can't take anything for granted.
No, you're spot on. Every game in this league, I know it sounds like people say it all the time, but the tough games, they're fighting for their lives. They know they need to get results like every other club does. But again, we just got to really concentrate on us now, and the real focus on working hard on the training pitch, make sure we get this group all back up and running, get them all in the same building, and everyone put Reading in the right direction. So that's all our focus is now.
Thanks, Mike.
No problem.
Mike, just looking at the table there. So not many goals conceded, really, considering, in the bottom half of the table, there's only 7 goals conceded, but only 4 scored, which is the same as Southend. There's only Scunthorpe have scored less with 3. So I suppose the big question is, where are the goals going to come from?
Well, they'll come from these attacking players being able to get on the pitch together at the same time. I think it's as simple as that. I think we've missed James Vaughan. He's back in the building now, but it's his first training session today. So Feeney's just coming back. Woolery's just been playing the last couple of games, but hasn't trained for a long time. So we're getting these players back now. You've seen it in the games at Scunthorpe and Cambridge, what this team was starting to look like before everything happened. And that's what we're trying to get to. I think there'll be goals in it. There'll be created chances in them games. So we just got to keep on that. We've got to make sure we get the clean sheets. It's 50-50 in this. So that's what we're working towards. I think we've got to remember what's actually gone on. It's all right to say things. This has been a big thing for this group. It's been torn apart, but now it's getting rebuilt. We know what we need to do. There's a lot of new players in it, but we're fully focused on that. But we need to just keep calm and focused and really look what's happened here before we start to say it's this and this. We know what it is. I think we're all honest with it. We know we've been hit badly. We'll bounce back. The group will come through this stronger for that. I truly believe that with all the players that we've got, and this group will be ready to go. It's just a patience thing with what's gone on, but we're calm in what we're doing. I know exactly what we need to do and the focus where it needs to be.
First run out for Sam Smith the other evening. Obviously, he's not had, as you said, hardly any chance to train and get used to the players. But I guess he will have been involved today. And is he settling in okay?
Yes, he's settling okay. Again, it's his first game for us. The first time that front three had played together the other night. So he's settling in. He's settling in fine. Again, like I said before, we've had a meeting today to show the players, especially the new players as well that have come in, the way we want to do things and the way we want to play, because we've not had a chance to do it in training because we've just not had the bodies to actually replicate what you need to do sometimes. So that's what we've gone and done. We've had a really good positive meeting today about things that we need to be good at and what the team's strengths are, and making sure we stick to those basics and the fundamentals of what gets you results.
Of course, when it rains, it pours. You lost Jack Young to tonsillitis. Does that rule him out of the weekend?
We don't know. He trained today. He trained today with us, so that's a positive. Obviously, Paul Lewis is still suspended for the next today and on Tuesday. So that was a blow, obviously, in midweek, because obviously we've gone from four midfield players down to two. But Jack's come back in and trained today, so fingers crossed he'll be okay for the weekend.
Can I just check on Leo Connor as well? He took him off on Tuesday night for Sid Nelson fairly late in the game. Was that just a tactical switch, or did he have a problem?
No, it's just a tactical. I think it's tactical. I think with Lee went away with Ireland. Obviously, that was the week that the COVID hit, so we missed him as well. He went to Ireland. He had 10 days away. He was in Italy on Wednesday and Thursday, played a game. He's had to fly back into Dublin, and then he's had to get an 8-hour ferry over to get into training with us in time for Friday. So the guy's had he's a young boy. He's had a big upheaval in regards of he's travelling. He's played a game against Italy in the qualifier, so he come back a little bit fatigued. We looked at his stats. His stats were through the roof for training in his game in that qualifier. I think he was about 11 or 12k that he covered. And then obviously he's gone into the Newport game and straight into that the other day. So I think it was just a little bit of fatigue knocking around in a young guy who's going out in his first crack at proper senior football. But he's fine. The boy's a talent. He's a good kid, and he's come in today and he's a bit more refreshed today. So that's that's really positive for us.
You don't need me to tell you that fans will be looking, almost expecting a win on Saturday, with Southend being rock bottom. The players under no illusions that, despite the problems that they've had to deal with over the last fortnight, they really do need to get back to winning ways now. Yes,
definitely. They know that it's important. We never want to. We don't want to lose games. No one likes losing games. You're disappointed when you go home. The guys are the same. You've got to go through the process of going through it yourself. You can't just all of a sudden spring out and everything's hunky-dory. You go through a process. I do, the players do. But you'll always find a way of regrouping, refocusing. And the guys know that. The guys know that. Again, they'll get a boost from the squad coming back together. For the fans, I know the fans are disappointed. They've been great to us all the time. I know what they expect. I know what this club has had in the past. And I'm sure they will stick with us and understand what we've gone through. But I obviously know they want to win games. And I know that for them. And we're doing our very best now to make sure this group gets up to speed and gets going again. but we are doing our very best. The performances the last couple of games haven't been to the standard that we've set ourselves in previous games, and we know that, and we know the issues behind that. But we don't try and make excuses to them. It's just, I think people need to know what it is. But we're passionate about these fans, and we want to do well for them. We always will.